Welcome to We the People, an innovative pilot program that is helping to position individuals with disabilities into socially valued roles in their communities.
This is a fact. If you have a guardian, so if you are a guardianee in the United States of America today, you have less rights than somebody who's in our prison system. That wasn't the intention, and that's not what somebody wants. A person with an intellectual disability should have the same rights that you and I have.
Run by Cornell University's Yang Tan Institute and hosted by Heritage Christian Services in Rochester, We the People was a 7-week course. It allowed for about 10 people with developmental disabilities to work with a support staff member of their choice to identify obstacles they are facing and to come up with potential solutions.
I think it's really important to hear from people. You know, it doesn't really matter where you work in the organization. We all are here for the same purpose in supporting people live the best lives that they can live with the most choice.
To hear from them directly what's hitting their heart and to see a vision of how we could help them, or not necessarily have that vision but agree that we're going to walk with them and try to sort through and understand it, it's quite powerful.
For instance, Ryan Hasselwander wants there to be consistent and long-term staff who work at his home in Pittsford. He has a plan to accomplish that to prevent frequent turnover.
I want to be part of hiring in the interview process of my staff that work here at my house. Helps me build my independence and a consistent team.
There was some support that Ryan requested, like what are appropriate questions to ask for an interview. If it was a stranger on the street, if they would be a good fit for the house, where to find good people to work here.
Self-direction is important for Erica Jonas. Her grandparents are in charge of her finances in some of her choices. She says having more control would give her increased confidence and independence.
I know how to speak for myself, but my grandparents are so used to being my voice that it's like I really want them to understand that I can make my own decisions. I always learn through trial and error, and I need to figure out what works best for me. I would like to see like trainings and like programs to help families see that people with disabilities can make informed decisions.
After presenting her concerns to Heritage, Erica also shared her presentation with her grandparents, who she says were receptive and impressed by her boldness to speak up.
Each individual, I thought, was able to identify and acknowledge something in their own lives that they wanted to see change. They were able to communicate the aspirations around those changes and their own commitment to those changes and how others could help.
Now that Heritage has heard the presentations, agency leadership is providing guidance to the individuals and their support teams to advance their advocacy projects. Heritage Christian Services is also building strategy to advance the advocacy themes at a systems level.
There's some good opportunity for us to work better together and hopefully bring some of these ideas to greater fruition. I think a challenge from my viewpoint also, though, is how do we take some of these concepts and how do we create community-based solutions? That they're not a disability organization that's providing these opportunities, that our communities are more sophisticated and inclusive and welcoming of all people.